Often we have to pinch ourselves to see if we're not just dreaming. But we're not. Join me in a victory lap celebrating the surprise unveiling of my wedding portrait, Born Again, and the survival of our 54-year enduring love story.
Planning this elaborate large oil painting of Jen, Born Again, took several months. Painting it took several more. As you can see, it was full of symbolism. The little girl at the edge of the dark forest, carrying a bunch of red roses, is from an actual photo of little Jen at around age 2. The woman in the foreground is from a photo of Jen at age 35. The golden rays of sunshine breaking through the dark forest's trees, illuminating Jen, is God's guiding light. The white dove descending through those rays of light towards Jen's outstretched hand, is the Holy Spirit. The winding path emerging from the dark and dangerous forest, out into the light, over the bridge, is Jen's escape path to freedom and a new life. Little Jen and grown-up Jen have been wandering, lost and confused in the dark and dangerous forest for 35 years already, trying to find a way out to safety. Once they reached the edge of the forest, the stone bridge would let them safely cross over into a new life. Its 3 stone orbs represent the Trinity. But the little girl is scared. The dark and dangerous forest is all she's ever known, so she starts crying, clutching her red roses, fearful, bewildered. The young woman, adult Jen, is eager to explore what lies ahead, the pathway forward illuminated with ethereal mist, colorful impatience growing there prolific and wild, so she tries to coax the little girl to come with her, but she won't. Instead she gives adult Jen some red roses for her hair, a gift from her, permission to cross over into a new life, but alone. Adult Jen tells little Jen to wait for her there at the edge of the forest, that she's going to explore the alluring world beyond the bridge, and giving her a long last hug, both of them crying, they part company, for now. I always choke up at this part of the story, since it's very real for so many women, not just Jen, as they grapple with finally leaving their confusing childhood behind them forever, and boldly venture forth into a new life, born again. That all takes tremendous courage, but it's transformational. It was for Jen, so much so that I was inspired by the new Jennifer that emerged to commission this elaborate expensive masterpiece as a surprise gift for her. Since I'd already asked her what the wedding dress of her dreams would have looked like, I got several sketches of variants done for her, so that she could choose which dress I'd have made for her. She naturally assumed I was planning another wedding for her, whilst I was thinking that maybe this would get me off the hook. Well, as you've already seen, that plan of mine didn't work. But the rest? You're about to witness some miracles, and not planned by me, or by Jen. God wanted that wedding portrait finished first, unveiled as a surprise for Jen, then only his incredibly loving gift for Jen and her dad, yes, her long-lost daddy, would materialize. Keep watching. So what happened to little Jen? Were they ever reunited? Well, yes. Many years later, having escaped her mother's cruelty in Canada and driven 11,000 kilometers south to Panama, we were led to a beautiful home in the dense jungle in the mountains of a national park, on the banks of a pristine river with its blue pools and waterfalls. And there too was little Jen, still clutching her roses, faithfully waiting. Jen was blown away, so excited to be reunited with little Jen, who had somehow found her way here and was sitting patiently hoping that one day they'd be reunited forever. So with God's help I bought the home for Jen. It's still our home here in Panama, 20 years later. For all of those 20 years, little Jen has been sitting at the entrance to our home, still clutching her bunch of red roses which never seem to wilt, and she's no longer crying, she's happy, smiling. They both are. As an aside, realizing how much Jen wanted this home, I panicked. I'd spent most of our money buying a luxury condo overlooking the Pacific Ocean and islands close to the canal, in downtown Panama City, so how could I afford to buy Jen her dream home too? And this is where God's math shines. I placed my dilemma before God in prayer, and his answer was immediate and brilliant. I had a whole life insurance policy in Canada still, barely growing but waiting patiently for me to one day die so that my widow would then, as a little old lady, travel back to Canada to fight for what was left to have some extra money. Yeah, right. They may have gone out of business by then. So I took God's answer to my prayer seriously. I cashed in that life insurance policy, bought Jen her dream home, put it in her name and said, "Jen, enjoy my life insurance policy. Long before I die. Consider it paid out to you, now a tangible asset of yours, appreciating way more than it would have in Canada, where it wasn't even keeping up with inflation. And better yet, enjoy living in it, with little Jen and me, together here forever." We had a plaque made for our home, and its name is Regalo de Dios, God's gift. Born Again hangs proudly on the wall in our home, and it was a prophetic painting done almost 2 decades before we arrived here. And before I forget, those colorful impatiens in the painting? They grow wild here, native to this part of the world. And if you look at the painting, those are not trees from Canada, but they are here, growing all around our home in the jungle. When Jen was 41, her dad surprised her by driving up our circular driveway one sunny Sunday afternoon. Sensing that this was the last day she'd ever have with her dad, I got him to stand hugging Jen underneath her new oil painting, to tell her he was sorry, to ask her forgiveness, which she freely gave him, to tell her that he loved her and to imagine he was giving her away on her wedding day. It was a truly cathartic moment. Jen also wasted no time, telling Daddy about her new adopted family, and inviting him to be a part of it along with her. Jen led her dad to the Lord that day, sitting there with a beer in his hand, both of them with tears in their eyes. Not knowing what had happened, I came out onto the deck to take a photo of Daddy and his little girl. It's the actual photo taken after that momentous event. When his wife heard what had happened, she issued him an ultimatum, saying that if he ever had any contact with Jennifer ever again, she'd kick him out. He meekly complied, but really he should have rather gone to pack his bags. That's a deal-breaker. Jen would be given one other opportunity to speak to her dad, surprising him with a phone call on Father's Day, but after that her mother screened all phone calls closely. He died 25 years later. Spitefully, Jen's mother and sister hid the news of his passing from Jen, but on what would have been his 92nd birthday, Jen got the sad news from her favorite cousin, but at least she knew where her dad was. When I followed God's urging to commission the painting Born Again, thinking it was simply a way to make up for Jen not having had a big family wedding and an expensive dress, etc. Clearly God had an even bigger surprise in store for Jen. The one family member Jen missed most at her wedding was her dad. Now God had given them an unusual do-over and Jen the huge honor of leading her aging dad to the Lord exactly 40 years after he'd first held her on his lap as his firstborn, Daddy's little girl.
Thank you, Abba Father, for that last precious day with Dad, for arranging his and my reconciliation, but especially for the immense privilege of being able to take him by the hand and lead him to the foot of the cross. I know where he is now, he's safely with you, and I now have the blessed assurance that we'll meet again.
As his last visit drew to a close, realizing I'd never get another chance, I pressed Jen's dad to find all of Jen's childhood photos that his wife had been holding hostage, and send them to Jen. He agreed and did that upon his return. His wife was furious, demanding them all back. I refused, with a caveat. If she too, like Jen's dad had done, asked Jennifer for forgiveness for all the cruel things she'd done to her, acknowledging her as her daughter once again, I'd send her copies of them all. Over the next 3 decades, she never did that. She died at 93 and a half in late 2024. In all that time, all she had left was fading memories and images of the near-perfect daughter whom she'd so callously rejected simply for wanting to live her own life, not Mother's. She was left with no photos of Jennifer. We had them all. On the bright side, these videos are able to feature actual photos of Jennifer, from birth to age 18, when she graduated high school. After that I took most all of the photos that feature in the videos I make of Jen's life, which Google and Elon Musk's AIs, and the very talented official illustrator of Jen's story, 75-year-old Lady Jane from Dallas, Texas, reanimates so well, so realistically, that I often feel my heart fluttering just watching them, as I relive all of those loving feelings from our now distant youth. I encourage you to watch the sequel, Jen's Miraculous Final Day with Daddy, 3 Brides One Soul sequel. Be warned, it's heart-wrenchingly sad, but happy too.
By running away from mother in Canada back to Africa, I bet on you. I love you so very, very much. I'm all yours now. Please always love me, forever.
Jenny, please forgive me. I love you, Daddy. I forgive you.
Goodbye, Jenny.
Some may be puzzled, thinking maybe I'm Mormon, married to sister wives Jen, Jenny, and Jennifer, so let me explain. All of them share the same soul, which of course makes them one woman, not 3. Jen's the love of my youth, trying unsuccessfully 6 times to escape from mother, to marry me, even though I'd proposed to her first. After our 6th forced farewell she became a woman. That woman's name was Jenny. Enduring our 7th forced farewell, she and Jen planned to run away to me.
I've got you. She will never harm you again, my love.
Jenny and Jen arrived back to me in Cape Town on Sunday the 17th of June in 1979. 13 days later we were married. Jenny and Jen merged into Jennifer at age 49 in 2006. We were married in Helena, Montana using her maiden names, to get valid documents for us to elope to Panama. My 3 beautiful brides Jen, Jenny and Jennifer share the same soul. Jen's the love of my youth who bore the brunt of her mother's cruelty, ultimately being taken as mother's captive to live in Canada at 21. About as far away as one can get from me in Cape Town. Us by then already engaged for almost 2 years. Jenny's the mother of our 2 sons. She ran away from mother's house in Canada to marry me in Africa at 22. Jennifer emerged at 49 proposing to me with the condition that we break off all contact with her mother and run far, far away to live the rest of our lives in Panama. We did that in 2006, 20 years ago, and we've lived happily here ever since. If we were given a do-over, we'd have run away together to Panama as a young married couple. The lifelong sworn enemy of our love story died alone in Canada at age 93 in late 2024. Still as mean as ever, missed by nobody. Many times we've wondered what life could have been like if she'd been a normal mom, but she wasn't. As a result we've lived an adventurous life. Having a determined common enemy focused us keenly on preserving our love story, something that the easy good life might not have done. So there's that to consider. Jen was 14, without speaking our souls connected. We were cruelly separated 6 times in 6 years. Jenny and me were separated a 7th time at 21. She ran away from mother in Canada at 22 to marry me in Africa. Jennifer was 48 when she proposed to me. We married a 3rd time in Montana, then ran far away to Panama.